Pool Guy Podcast Show. The Pool Guy Podcast Show. The Pool Guy Podcast Show. Yeah!
Hi, welcome to the Pool Guy Podcast Show. In this episode, I'm going to compare the new Polaris ATLAS, ATLAS XT, and the Polaris Max to the Hayward PoolCleaner, Aquanaut, Phoenix. It's funny how there's 3 versions of each one now. So I'll go over some of the pros and cons of each one and why I think the new Polaris model is going to outsell the Hayward model in most cases. And I'll go over some of the new features of these models for you as well, compared to the Hayward model that really hasn't had an overhaul in quite a long time. Pool Service Pro. Open a Leslie's wholesale account today and receive wholesale pricing on products you use every day. Leslie's Pool Supply offers convenient locations that are open 7 days a week. Another great benefit of opening a Leslie's wholesale account is Leslie's referral program. Get referred to a customer looking for weekly pool service. Also receive priority service, enhanced rebate programs, a discount on your general liability insurance through SPA, a discount on your pool routing software through Skimmer, and an opportunity to co-brand with Leslie's on your social media, website, truck, and more. Save time and money and grow your pool service route and become a Leslie's Pro. And I should emphasize why the PoolCleaner Aquanaut / Phoenix has not had an overhaul, because it wasn't really needed. I mean, this cleaner is bulletproof. It's the go-to cleaner for most pool service companies for a number of reasons. And the PoolCleaner Aquanaut and Phoenix are the same exact cleaner. They came from a company called If you've been in the industry long enough, you know this company. The designer of the PoolCleaner was the same person that worked on the Hayward Sand Shark, the Hayward Great White, and also the Hayward Navigator. And then he branched off into his own company and made the PoolCleaner. And it's a clever name. It's confusing sometimes when you tell people, go buy the PoolCleaner. They're like, I want a PoolCleaner. Yeah, get the PoolCleaner. It's like, who's on first? The old Abbott Costello routine. Now, if you don't know who Abbott Costello is, just Google Abbott and Costello or who's on first. And it's kind of a funny old routine. When I was a kid, I used to like watching those shows along with the Three Stooges, but I'm dating myself for sure here. So I'm going to refer to it for simplicity during this podcast as the PoolCleaner versus saying PoolCleaner Aquanaut Phoenix. They're all the same cleaner. The Phoenix is sold exclusively at Leslie's Pool Supply, and the Aquanaut is sold at various locations. The reason why Hayward had to adopt the Aquanaut brand name is for their rebate program. When they purchased the PoolCleaner, they couldn't offer the rebate through their program rebate and also their rewards program with the PoolCleaner. So they had to come up with a Hayward branded version. I'm not sure what exactly happened when they purchased it, but the Hayward branded version became the Aquanaut, which led to a lot of confusion because there's 3 of the same cleaner. So I'm going to refer to it as the PoolCleaner here. It has the 2 wheels or the 4-wheel version. And basically, they're bulletproof. You don't have to worry about parts very often. The gears are extremely long-lasting. Large debris passes through the turbine, no problem. And the only part you really have to change are the wheels on the cleaner. About every 18 months to 2 years, you're changing the rubber wheels on there. There's a lot of off-brand manufacturers that make them now. So it's a really affordable, well-made, and a great machine to put in anyone's pool. If you wanted to demo a pool cleaner, a pool cleaner, you can drop one of these in your customers' pools and not worry about it kind of failing on you or making you look foolish. And so I use these as demo cleaners all the time. The MX8 is what, or the MX8 and the MX8 Elite is what the Polaris ATLAS, ATLAS XT, and Max are basically based off of. And they changed to the Polaris brand for a number of reasons. I think Floridra, here's some more confusion for you, so get ready for another who's on first. So Floridra is the parent company of Zodiac, which owns Polaris, and they own Jandy. And Zodiac Pools was kind of their parent name before they were merged or purchased by Floridra. So now Floridra is the parent company of Zodiac, Jandy, and Polaris, plus other brands underneath that umbrella there. Aquabot is one of the ones that they absorbed in the purchase, or actually Floridra, I think, owned Aquabot when they merged. It gets really murky and confusing, but just note that Zodiac and Polaris are the same company. So the Zodiac MX8 and MX8 Elite is basically the ATLAS XT, the Polaris ATLAS XT, or Polaris Max, and it's just branded under the Polaris name to give it some distinction from the MX8 brand, which had a lot of issues. I'll be nice here. They had some problems with the engine that would jam up with very large leaf debris. So anything stringy would stop this cleaner in its tracks, pun intended. And of course, another weakness was the tracks themselves. They would wear out quite rapidly, and then they would fall off the cleaner. So the Polaris Max and the Polaris Atlas is the next generation of the MX8. And the reason why I think this cleaner is going to surpass the Hayward PoolCleaner is because of the wall climbing ability of this cleaner. I mean, if you had an MX8 on your route, you know the superiority of it over the PoolCleaner with the wall climbing ability. The PoolCleaner just can't climb the walls. A lot of it has to do with the redesign of the cleaner, on purpose, by the way, because if you have a Pentair Rebel, you'll notice that it comes out of the water and sucks air, which will cavitate the pump and cause it to turn off. And in some extreme cases, you may lose prime on your pump when the cleaner comes out. So before they sold the cleaner to Hayward, the designer of the PoolCleaner put these little ridges on the bottom, or elevated kind of like door stoppers that you would put in a door jamb to stop the door from closing. So they put those on the bottom, and this prevents it from getting enough traction, and also the hump on the tires will knock it off the wall before it gets to the surface, and this eliminates it coming out of the pool and sucking air. The drawback, of course, is that since it can't climb the wall, customers are like, hey, this cleaner's not working great because it doesn't clean my walls. But 90% of the dirt's on the bottom of the pool. The walls are really not as critical. However, the optics of it, customers want their cleaner to clean the walls. And if they had a bouncing type cleaner that cleaned the walls before the pool cleaner, they're familiar with the cleaning their walls of their pool, and so they want that feature. And so the new Polaris cleaner is definitely going to clean the walls just like the MX8 and MX8 Elite clean the walls. I'm going to back up a little bit. So the Polaris Max and Atlas XT are three versions of the same cleaner. The Polaris Atlas XT is the one you're going to find in your retail pool store. The Polaris Max is sold only at Leslie's Pool Supply. And then the Polaris Atlas is going to be sold through Pool Corp. I think mainly Pool Corp is going to be the carrier of the Atlas. Now the main difference between the Atlas and the Atlas XT is the hoses. So the Atlas is going to have standard universal hoses. Yay, let's all cheer for that, because I think most pool guys hate the locking hoses. And Zodiac even told me at the pool show that the representative was like, hey, you know, we made the Atlas because pool guys seem to hate those locking hoses. We do hate them because we have like 500 universal hoses in the backyard, and we can't use that with this cleaner because it has those locking hoses. Unfortunately, the Atlas XT and the Polaris Max have locking hoses. I can deal with them. I don't have a problem with them. I have a ton of them in my backyard also, and they seem pretty durable. So I'm not too concerned about them. I just don't I prefer the universal hoses, of course, but I can live with the locking hoses if I have to, especially since this cleaner is just awesome. So it kind of makes the locking hoses a secondary factor, I think, in my mind. So the Polaris Max is the Leslie's Pool Supply version. It's the white version. It's the same exact body as the Australian version of the Polaris Atlas. So it's actually a cooler looking cleaner, I think. And they have rebates all the time, Polaris does, and I think right now, until September, they have like $100 off. So every March to September, they're going to have like $100 off the cleaners, wherever you purchase them at. I'm not sure if the Atlas is going to be with $100 off at Pool Corp, but it may be rebated also. So again, the Atlas XT has the locking hoses sold at your retail pool stores. The Atlas is just sold at Pool Corp, and I don't know if I gave you the part number for that. It's POL-20-1009. That's for the Atlas with the universal hoses at Pool Corp. It's POL-20-1009. And if you get your supplies at Leslie's Pool Supply, you definitely want to pick up the Polaris Max there. I just think the white unit is just a better looking unit. It looks so cool compared to the blue unit. The blue unit looks more like the MX8, whereas the white unit has some flares on the side, kind of like an old car T-Bird type thing. So I think it's a really cool looking design, and you can pick that up at Leslie. So there's 3 locations: your local pool store, Leslie's Pool Supply for the Max, or your wholesaler for the Polaris Atlas. And if you're a consumer looking for this online, they're not going to sell this cleaner online, so you're not going to be able to buy the Atlas XT online. And if you're looking for the Atlas version without the locking hoses, you're going to have your pool service provider or your pool company put that in for you. You can't purchase that at the retail stores. I think the standard Atlas is only sold to pool professionals. And so if you're a homeowner looking for that, have your local pool professional put one in for you if you don't like the locking hoses. I really thought they would do away with the locking hoses entirely, but there's a lot of money invested in these locking hoses from Floridra. I'll just use the parent company. But that's not going to happen. And some people like them. I think for the homeowner, they're really easy for them to disconnect the cleaner and get it out of the pool. And it does make for easier setup than the compression type hoses, which takes some strength to push them together so that no air gets in there, or they come apart. So let me give you some details of the upgrades for the Polaris Atlas. And I'm going to just use the Polaris Atlas as the name going forward here, so it's not confusing. The biggest improvement is the engine has been replaced with something called the Halo technology, or Halo turbine. And this thing is just really cool looking. It's got gears, kind of like the pool cleaner has, where the turbine sits on it, or even like the A-frame of the Navigator. And it kind of opens up and spins. It's really innovative. Of course, Polaris would come out with something as innovative as this. And large string-like debris goes right through the cleaner now. Doesn't jam it up. So that's number one. It's not going to get jammed as easily as the MAXX would get jammed. And I think the second thing they've done, there's three things that they've done that are major improvements. The second thing they've done is the tracks are really beefed up. They're supposed to last a very long time. In their testing, they've had these in test pools for a while. After 1 year, the tracks are showing really little wear on the inside. In fact, the outside's wearing out now more than the inside. So you're not going to be replacing these tracks every 6 months or 8 months like it used to be. And they're not going to fall off the cleaner because the inside teeth are really robust on these tracks. And another thing, they put a shield on the side, so the tracks aren't going to fall off if it hits an object, or anything will dislodge it, especially when it's starting to wear down. So the shield is another great improvement. I think it's more optics than anything as far as that goes. So you have the track with the shield kind of protecting it, keeping it on there. And the last thing they have done is they redesigned the directional devices, A and B. They look thinner. They look like they have maybe less gearing. I haven't taken one apart yet, but they definitely look different than the old directional devices, which would fail, every 6 to 8 months on the MAXX with all the turning and moving. So I'm assuming they're more robust also and longer lasting. They wanted to make this cleaner more durable, more long lasting, where you have less part changes. Now you're still going to be changing parts in this cleaner a lot more than the Hayward PoolCleaner, and I think that's a drawback for a lot of pool companies out there that want to put a cleaner in and just forget about it. Same with the homeowners that don't want to mess with changing parts. If you had a Navigator, you lived through a nightmare of part changes for your whole pool owning life. And I think getting the getting the Polaris Atlas is kind of like stepping back for you if you have like the pool cleaner now. However, the wall climbing ability, the scrubbing brushes on the bottom, all are something that adds to this cleaner. And the wide cleaning path. This cleaner cleans really fast. I mean, it's so wide that it cleans a pool similar to a robotic pool cleaner in a lot of respects. So I put it in my pool to test it, and within 2 hours, my pool was pretty much spotless with the Atlas working in there, versus like the pool cleaner, which would probably take about 4 hours for the same kind of cleaning ability or cleaning time to get the pool looking just like the Atlas did. I remember when I first put a pool cleaner in my pool a long time ago by Pool Vernugan, and it was like moving really slow, I thought. And I went away for a while, came back, and the pool was spotless. I was pretty amazed by the ability. With the Atlas, it's even more amazing how quickly it cleaned the pool and how thoroughly it cleaned the pool up to the water line, because it does climb the pool a lot better than the Hayward PoolCleaner. And I think the overall look of the Polaris Atlas is much better than the pool cleaner. If you're looking for something to sell your customers that looks good optically in the pool and is more robust, I think this is the way to go. It also does a better job. It does a great job on the anti-vortex main drains, or just any main drains, period, because of the wide body. I've never really had an MAXX get caught on a main drain, whereas sometimes the pool cleaner, even the 4-wheel version, will get hung up on a lot of the new anti-vortex drains. In fact, if you have a pool cleaner now that's getting caught on a drain, I would swap it out in your route for one of these cleaners. It's going to really make a difference. Probably the only drawback with the Atlas, which I don't think it's really a big drawback, is the price point. It's a lot more expensive than the pool cleaner, and then you're going to have to be buying parts for it. So it is going to be a more expensive cleaner to operate and run in the pool. Although I think it's going to be more efficient and effective in cleaning the pool than the pool cleaner because it goes higher in the walls, it cleans faster, has a wider cleaning path. So if you're a budget conscious, I think the Hayward Pool Cleaner is still going to be the cleaner to go to. And if you're a pool route operator, doesn't want to deal with part changes, maybe you have a lot of employees and you don't want to mess with the cleaners, just get the pool cleaners and be done with it. You don't have to worry about it. They work really effectively. There's really nothing wrong with the pool cleaner, I should say. It's still a go-to pool cleaner. I think it's bulletproof as far as parts go. And as far as dropping it in the pool, not worrying about it getting jammed up or stuck anywhere in the pool. But the I keep saying MX8, the Polaris Atlas is definitely a great upgrade over the MX8 Elite. And I think it's something that you're going to really need to consider now. The MX8, you may have just written it off as something you want to put in a pool because of the string-like debris problem, or the track changes, or the part changes. But now that the Floridra, here I am again stumbling over the names, has redesigned it under the Polaris moniker as the Atlas XT, Atlas, and Polaris Max, I think you want to consider this cleaner for your pool route for a number of reasons. And I think it's a good purchase now, versus I would be hesitant to say drop an MX8 in most pools out there because of the drawbacks it had before. These don't have any drawbacks except the higher price point and maybe the locking hoses of the XT and Max unit, which again I can live with because it cleans so well that, that's just a minor annoyance now versus being a major annoyance with the MX8. And I think the MX8 and the MX8 Elite are probably going to be redesigned, or maybe there's going to be an upgrade kit for these cleaners. I'm not sure what they're going to do with the MX8. They're going to definitely change that design. I don't think they would be using the old engine anymore, but I haven't got any confirmation from Floridra about an MX8 Elite upgrade to the Halo technology that's in the Atlas cleaners, but I'm sure that's logically coming. I would definitely gut them out and put these new systems in so that they're kind of bulletproof like the Atlas, and keep that Zodiac brand going on one side, keep the Polaris brand going on the other side, and just kind of dominate the suction cleaner market out there. And if you remember back in the day, if you're an older pool pro like me, Polaris actually had a suction cleaner that was like really terrible, and it was I can't remember what it was called, but it looked a little bit like the regular Polaris 280 with the wheels. It just was a horrible suction side cleaner, way too many parts in there. But yeah, I'm kind of dating myself with that, but you'll remember these Polaris suction cleaners. This is like their first suction cleaner after that kind of failure attempt at making a suction cleaner. I used to have one in my garage, but I threw it away many years ago because I can't find parts for it, or it doesn't really work effectively, even if I rebuilt it. But yeah, this is a great way for them to kind of branch out and redevelop their suction side cleaner market for the Polaris branding. And I really think it's a solid choice. I've been testing them, and I really think that they've overcome some hurdles of the MX8 Elite that would stop pool pros from buying them. And since they have the Atlas sold at Pool Corp with the non-locking hoses, I think if you're a pool pro that doesn't like the locking hoses, go for that brand. But personally, I mentioned again, I like the white Polaris Max version sold at Leslie's. And you get a wholesale price on that also. You would just need to open a wholesale account at Leslie's if you're a pool pro here I'm speaking to directly, and just open a Leslie's Pro account, and you can get the Atlas Max. Here I am messing up the names. Polaris Max at Leslie's Pool Supplies, and to sell to your clients. I just like that white version. I think it's just cool looking. I don't think I've recorded a podcast that has me stopping and thinking so much about what I'm going to say referring to these companies and names of their cleaners. It's kind of like almost brain damage the way they branch out and have different names for the same cleaner or different names for the same company. But I think you can follow what I'm saying here. I think the Polaris Atlas XT, the Polaris Atlas, and the Polaris Max are going to give the Hayward Pool Cleaner a run for its money. It's an old design. It's a good design. Nothing wrong with the design. It's just that the Polaris Atlas probably is going to hurdle it in the market because of all the features that I mentioned and the wall climbing ability. And now it's more attractive to the pool pro that would shun that cleaner, the MX8 Elite, for many years because of the issues it was having. And it took Zodiac a long time to redevelop this cleaner. I think it took too long for them to fix this problem. I knew about the engine problems years ago along with the other pool pros, And I don't know if it was just a matter of them investing time into it or whatnot. But for me, it seems like a long time for the wait for a rebuild of a cleaner for sure. And I think it was high time that they do something like this. And it's a great cleaner. You're going to really enjoy this cleaner, and you're going to see the video of the Max that I just released also recently. So I have a video of the Max, the Leslie's version, the Polaris Max, and I also have the version of the actual Atlas XT on my YouTube channel. You can watch those videos and you can actually see for yourself. I'm opening it up, looking at the new parts, looking at the new everything, and running them and testing them thoroughly. And I must say, the string-like debris ability is the game changer for me, at least, because in my area of Southern California, the string-like debris is in like every pool. And so I can only have the the MX8 on certain pools. And now you may be wondering also about the MX6. Now, I don't know if they're going to redevelop that. I'm almost positive they will have an MX6 Polaris version. I don't see why they wouldn't, because that's a super popular cleaner also. Has less parts and it's good for a smaller pool. Actually good for a large pool too if you have the side port in the middle. And I don't see why they couldn't put the Halo technology into the MX6 with one directional device. Maybe they're just producing the Atlas and the Max and they're just focusing on that the first year. But I wouldn't be surprised if they have a redesigned MX6 version coming out for you, which will compete more directly with the pool cleaner, I think, based on size and price point, versus the Atlas and the Max, which are priced higher, and they're designed mainly for a larger pool, but you can use them in a small pool also. You'll just have extra hoses. And I should also say that the MX8 would have a little bit more trouble with the variable speed pump on low speed. You can run the Atlas XT, and the Max on a lower RPM. It won't climb the walls per se, but it's going to move along the bottom of the pool really well at a lower RPM. I think much more so than the engine in the MX8, which took a lot of suction to get moving. The Halo technology that they use now really makes this cleaner move faster, I think. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, but I've tested them and I've ran these on lower speeds and they seem to move a lot better than an MX8 would move in the pool. But for the VS pumps, I think the MX6 would be my go-to one, which now, since they have the redesigned Atlas, I wouldn't consider that cleaner at all now. For any pools, I would just get the Atlas or the Max and put those in, even for a pool that would be suitable for the MX6. So maybe Zodiac will hurt their sales of the MX6 versions until they redesign it. But I would say that if you have a pool cleaner now and you're happy with it, wouldn't replace it, so to speak. But if you're putting in new cleaners on your route, or if you're a homeowner looking for a new cleaner, I would really recommend looking at the Polaris Atlas XT or the Polaris Max at your local Leslie store. And if you're looking for the actual videos of these two cleaners, you can find them on my website, swimmingpoollearning.com. Just go to pool cleaners and you're going to see the Polaris Atlas and you're going to see the Polaris Max listed there. And of course, you can find them on my YouTube channel and you can watch those videos there. If you're looking for other podcasts that I recorded, you can go to my website, again, swimmingpoollearning.com. On the banner, click on the podcast icon for that. If you want to enhance your business, consider my coaching program at poolguycoaching.com. Thanks for listening to this podcast. Have a great rest of your week, and God bless. Pool Service Pro. Open a Leslie's wholesale account today and receive wholesale pricing on products you use every day. Leslie's Pool Supply offers convenient locations that are open 7 days a week. Another great benefit of opening a Leslie's wholesale account is Leslie's referral program. Get referred to a customer looking for weekly pool service. Save time and money and grow your pool service route and become a Leslie's Pro.